Well, I'm in the Millennium Room with Rob Callister, who has responsibility for motorsport, and of course the big announcement that, well, there's two things. One, the schedule, bit of a move around that, but really the big one, I suppose, is a TT scoreboard, that iconic bit of kit that a lot of people may think is very nice. Others will say it clearly should be in a museum, but anyway, is it fit for service is what you're basically asking the public for now. I mean, that's come to the end of its life, right? Whatever happens, that particular scoreboard, unless they spend a lot of money on it, has done now.
Yeah, I mean, that particular structure has been in place since the 1980s. It is a bit like Trigger's broom. I think every part of it's been replaced in that period of time. Over the last couple of years, you know, we've undertaken some works in relation to electricals, etc., and some structural some work, but we've got to the point now where we can't delay doing something in the future. So I was quite passionate to get this out to consultation, and as I was just saying off camera there, that a post I put on Facebook myself has now reached 40,000.
Yeah, well, this is going to divide people. Let's face it.
It will divide people, but I'm hoping what it will do is it will give me a good steer of what the people want.
Is it a popularity contest then? I mean, is it literally a vote to keep, vote to get rid of? Or I mean, and you're going to go, oh, that pile's bigger than that one, so we'll go with that?
No, what it is, we'll take on board all the comments. Public opinion will be divided, I know that. I've tried my best here. We've got a complete blank sheet, so the options on the table is that we actually replace it like for like, or we do an alternative one, which is to keep some of the old historic look, but we put in a modern screen. Or the third alternative is that we get rid of the scoreboard completely, and we hire in screens, digital screens every year, and do it that way. What we're hoping to do is to coincide this with some work being done at the Glen Clutchery Road by the Department of Infrastructure. So we want all of that done at the same time, but we may have a test run in 2020. So it is very important.
Oh, that quickly then?
It could be. It depends. It could happen that quickly.
How are the Scouts about this? Because I mean, they're very fond of that. I mean, it's their big pride and joy, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of the Scouts. I'm very well connected with the Second Onken Scouts. I'm in the middle of helping them raise some funds for an extension. But in respect to the scoreboard, there is around 70 Scouts that work on that structure every year. So I've kept the Scouts Association fully informed. They were aware of this before it went out in the public domain. I want to encourage everybody out there to absolutely write in. Don't just post something on social media. I want people to let me know what their thoughts are. And if the public opinion says that the majority of views sort of says that we want a like for like, then we'll listen to that concern and see if we can do that.
Could you seriously put in a like for like? I mean, people paint up the details. I mean, it was fantastic in its day, but when you bring over these high rollers and all these VIPs and they're sitting up in the grandstand, they must look at that and go, goodness me, where are we? I mean,
I think you've raised a very good point, and I think people should be fully aware that those painters cost money. So if we do go for like, there is always a additional cost year on year, and we could remove some of those costs relating to painting those boards. How much of that information is up to date? It's very hard, because now we have our apps and we have modern technology.
You said it. I mean,
people follow
we know
the
everything.
riders.
We know everything on that phone of ours, don't we? But before they can even possibly paint it or dial this or do anything. I mean, it's a bit of TT history.
It is absolutely.
Should it not be in the museum, maybe in Germany?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it could be.
Well, that sort of thing. My own museum or something.
It is a steel structure wrapped, with wood attached to it. It is coming to the end of its life. We can possibly extend it.
Well, it's got to do something with it, haven't you? You're not going to just crush it up, are you? It's got to have some afterlife, I presume.
I'm not sure. It is coming to the very end of its life. It's one of those very tough decisions that other political members didn't want to make in previous administrations. We've kept it going. As I say, it's like Trigger's broom. Every part's being replaced. Yeah. But we've got to the stage now that we've got to make a decision.
And are you being very sort of neutral on this whole thing then? You say that. I mean, you must have an opinion, surely.
Okay, if you're asking me for my own personal opinion, on the department paper that I submitted to the members when I asked for this to go out to consultation, because I wanted to gauge opinion, my own personal view was a mixture of old and new.
You see, I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to just try and not be Marmite on this thing and try and mix the two, the old and the new. We're going to have some video screens. We're going to have some Scouts running around doing dials and meet halfway.
as you say, if on the consultation there is some pictures,
Right.
and as you say, there's one there where there's a screen in the middle, which I know the viewers can't see at the moment, but they will be able to pick this up later on.
Yeah.
Or you can actually go for it, remove the structure completely and put in big screens. I personally feel there's some iconic attachment to this as a TT person myself.
Yeah, but there's got to be screens anyway, because at some point there'll be live coverage of some sort, even if it's 10-second or 30-second delayed or whatever, which might be interesting if you're watching it at the grandstand and it's all delayed, but put that to one side. I mean, people expect to see everything these days, not just hear going through Ramsey or something.
The event is evolving every year. We are trying to make those difficult decisions.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of the fantastic job that the Scouts and other people have done over a long period of time, but this is a genuine opportunity for people to have their input. And if everybody who contacts me, don't do it on social media, please. Use the consultation hub.
Is it gov.im thing?
Go to just tap in Isle of Man government consultation. It'll take you to the 2 consultations that are currently going on.
And very quickly, you had consultation about the actual races and the changes and that sort of thing. Anything more on that? I mean, that was a separate consultation, I know.
They both open today, 13th of December, and they will run to the 31st of January 2020.
So they're in parallel.
So there's a long period. Well, it's easy enough to be done.
What are you asking on that one? Because just briefly,
Yeah, I mean, on the actual changes, all we're doing is very similar, is to start practicing on the Sunday. Don't have any practice on the Saturday night, but that doesn't mean that the event is starting a day later. We've got a lot of entertainment announcements to be made, which will start on the Saturday. We want to absolutely respect the marshals, which we always have done, but we want to try and reduce their commitment a little bit. We want to support the volunteers that give up so many hours. So we've looked at this schedule very closely, and what we're trying to do is just shrink it down a little bit, reduce that demand on those army of volunteers that we're so reliant on. But I'm hoping as well we can put in a better race schedule, so it's very clear there'll be 1 practice lap and then there'll be 2 races every day. It's more focused on the racing. We've got rid of
more or less, just more compact.
Well, it's more compact, but what we're doing is focusing on the racing. So there's less parade laps, there's less practicing during race. Obviously, this is subject to weather and things can change. But what we are doing is recognising the contribution that volunteers, the Marshals Association, the ambulance, the medics.
So when you say consultation, you've got this one is different. You've actually got, this is what we'd like to do. Have you got problems with it?
The race schedule. This is what we're proposing.
Yeah.
Do businesses around the TT course? Does locals, visitors, do they have any problems with that schedule?
Okay.
On the actual scoreboard, we've got a blank paper.
Right.
I really genuinely want people to submit their views. I want it to be possibly, I think it will be, a very detailed submissions on those. I think people will come along in high numbers to tell us their views, and we will listen to that. We won't please everyone because there is 3 options on the table.
But things could move fast.
But we will actually listen to that, and I'm hoping that we can go with the majority view of what people say.